So, fifth graders, we're working with this isosceles triangle. And we know that this is isosceles because I'm looking at triangle DFE. And I already pre-made this, and you can see that line segment DF is congruent to line segment DE. And I know this because I see my matching hash marks. So we have a known angle. However, we have two unknown angles. And we want to look through some properties of isosceles to help us to find these unknowns. So I made this copy of this isosceles triangle. And again, we know that these sides are congruent. So if I were to fold, we did this on our previous lesson. If I were to fold this in half, we learned that angle E is congruent to angle F. You can see when I'm doing that right here. So those are equal or congruent angles. So if we know that this angle is 78 degrees, and we know that these angles have to be congruent to each other, that gives us a nice key on how we're going to solve this. So I'm going to move this over for a minute, and let's go ahead and let's make ourselves an organizational tool that can help us to solve. Okay, so I know that I have 3 triangle angles, and together those angles are going to equal a sum of 180 degrees. Now I have one known angle, which is 78 degrees. That is my angle D, which could also be called angle FDE. I'm just calling it angle D for now. And I know that I'm looking for the measurement of angle F, and I'm looking for the measurement of angle E. Now remember, these two angles, that's right, they're congruent. So how do I find these angles? Well, if I know that together the sum of these angles is 180 degrees, and I have one known piece, or one known angle, so I wonder if I would take the difference between the angle that I know from the total of my sum, it should give me the total of these two angles as a sum. So I'm thinking about that. If I were to do some mental math here, I know that I would have 102 degrees left between both of these angles. If both of them, the sum of these two angles is 102 degrees, you betcha, we could divide by 2. We could divide these equally into half, this 102 degrees into half, and we should get the measurement of angle F and the measurement of angle E. So I'm going to take that 102 degrees and I'm going to divide it by 2. And again, I think this is some mental math that I can do. I'm going to break this apart for a minute. I'm going to think about 100. If I took 100 divided into 2, I would have to have at least 50 degrees here and 50 degrees in this angle. But then if I were I have this 2 1s, if I were to divide that into 2, that means that each would get 1. That's right. So this would have to equal 51 degrees for the measurement of angle F and 51 degrees for the measurement of angle E. Simple as that.